was wonderful presentation. What is important is I'm going to ask few questions, scenarios, the things that we normally face, the pain points of students, and I would like to get an answer from you from all this.
Sure.
Now, first basically question is the student comes who doesn't have money. Okay, money is the biggest constraint. So when they look at PIHMS, it looks lucrative that basically first 6 months you have to study. After that, you have an internship where you can work. And then doing the internship also, you can work part-time, which is 20 hours per week. So you can collect fees, you can pay the fees, you can doing the study, you can work 20 hours per week, which can cover up your accommodation, living expenses, looks good. So how much basically is this possible that a student basically is able to manage the first semester fees, or basically probably, little more than first semester fees, and other money he can basically work while he study in New Zealand?
So it is a very reasonably priced program, and like I mentioned, there's a very quick return on investment. So this is very doable, wherein a student gathers funds for the first year and then he sort of pays his way through for the other years. However, when you apply for a New Zealand visa, study visa, you are required to show funds for the entire duration of study, as well as for living expenses. And this is actually what makes the program a bit expensive. So it's not PIHMS that is charging that money, but one needs to show that money to immigration. And they've become a little more strict on this account, because during COVID, they felt that a lot of students, if they didn't get part-time work, they were really struggling over there. And the New Zealand government is very, very protective and supportive of international students. So they want to know that a student would be provided for when he studies in New Zealand. So one needs to show the money before you go there. However, once you go there, nobody really calls home for money or anything like that. They manage their own expenses.
So a bachelor's student who is going for a 3 years program, he has to show money for 3 years for the visa purpose, but he will have to only manage 1 year of finance. The remaining thing you mean to say would be managed while he is in New Zealand?
Yes, because if he's taken a loan, he's in a position to start paying back that loan. Sometimes parents put in their own savings, in which case he can give that money back to his parents, because he's not going to need so much when he's there. Through his part-time work, what he earns is more than enough to look after his living expenses.
Perfect. Now, the second type of student that comes to us are those students who are like looking for work opportunities. Okay, PIHMS is giving an excellent opportunity to work after a semester, so you can network with the industry, you can build your profile, you can use this networking later on for your jobs as well. All good. So how after the program, the system allows to stay back, to get a job, and then later on to basically be there for a little longer period of time? How easy or difficult it is?
Right. Each student is entitled to a post-study work visa. The bachelor's degree, a student who studied for 3 years would get a 3-year stay back. Postgraduate diploma has now been reduced to 1 year. And the master's is a 3-year stay back. Now, this is kind of automatic. Once a student finishes his program, this is what he is entitled to. Like I said, the New Zealand way is very transparent and very straightforward. So if this is what has been committed to him when he gets his student visa, this is what will be given to him. Even if rules change later, it will be applicable to those students who apply for their visa later. So today, if they say a master's student or a bachelor student gets 3 years, on completion of his study, he has to go online, apply for his post-study work visa, and he gets those 3 years to stay back and work there. It's not an issue at all.
Okay, perfect.
As far as jobs are concerned, that was another part of your question. Employability, like I said, we have a 97% employment rate. Why is it so high? It is because We give excellent training. We are known to be the best hotel management college in New Zealand. And over the last 27 years, we've built up an excellent reputation with ourselves and excellent rapport with the hotels over there. So they come to us for staff. They come to recruit our students because we give them such good training. And so also thanks to the industry placement, the student gets a platform. He gets a chance to prove himself, and it gives the hotel a chance to screen him. So it's almost seamless. Around 55% of our students have job offers in hand even before they finish the program. Now, sometimes the hotel doesn't have a vacancy, or the hotel or the student doesn't like that place, the property, he wants to be in a different city, in which case we have a job placement cell at the hotel, at the college, and we provide him options for employment.
Okay. You know, that you have a postgraduate diploma program, which is a 1-year program, which allows students to stay back for 1 year. Okay. Now, once a student gets a job, how easy or difficult it is to get sponsored or to continue further?
So this is a bit of a challenge now. Earlier, the postgraduate diploma was 3 years, and it was, it was a given that a student could just stay back there and qualify for PR application and all of that. 1 year is a bit of a challenge, to be honest. We're looking at the option of a student entering the postgraduate diploma and perhaps qualifying for master's eligibility and enrolling for the master's program after that. But we have to have this question answered from immigration as to whether they would allow combining of both programs and then give a 3-year stay back. When it comes to qualifying for, say, PR application, 1 year could be a challenge, like I mentioned. However, they're also coming up with employer accredited work visas after a student finishes his post-study work visa entitlement, in which case an employer has to sponsor the visa, so to speak. Now, this is again not guaranteed. So I wouldn't like to say that, oh yeah, just finish your postgraduate diploma, get 1 year, and you'll get a job and they'll sponsor your visa and you're set. No, we don't know about it yet. These rules have just changed on the 11th of May. And the visa office hasn't opened yet. It's opening on the 1st of August. So we need some clarity from immigration, and going forward, perhaps in a month or so, we will be able to provide that clarity.
Okay. The third type of student that comes to us are students who want to immigrate, want to settle. So study is an option where they will use this option to study, work, and then finally they want to settle abroad. So my question is, how easy or difficult it is to settle, get a PR in New Zealand?
Well, I would say if a person's got a long enough post-study work visa, like after the bachelor's degree, it's 3 years. After the master's, it's 3 years. It's very, very easy to get a PR, to qualify for PR. On the Immigration New Zealand website, there's a drop-down menu it's called the points calculator for PR application. And 160 points is what is needed to qualify. So, of course, there are points. If one is under 39 years of age, it's 30 points. If one is not working in Auckland, then it's another 30 points. If one has a master's degree, it's 70 points. If one has the post of a manager in one's employment, then it's, I think, 20 points. So similarly, one sort of accrues the points till one gets 160 and qualifies to apply. And usually within 2 to 2.5 years, students manage to qualify for a PR application.
Okay. I'm going to give some cases profile. The profile of the student is basically a student has done 12th with 55%, IELTS score of 6 band in one module, 5.5, looking to go for a hospitality program. You think this student is eligible?
Yes. So the IELTS would be overall 6 with no less than 5.5 in each band. And definitely, we definitely can enroll the student.
Okay. The second profile is basically a student who has 5 years of education gap. and now he wants to study hospitality. He has, again, this student is the same profile, 12, 55%, IELTS 6, 5.5. Is he eligible?
What was the gap due to?
Yeah, because his father expired, so let's take he was helping his father's business.
So does he have supporting documents that he was,
He has a supporting document.
and he would go for the bachelor's degree?
Yeah.
I don't think that should be a problem. We need to explain the gap. It's not just for us, it's also for New Zealand immigration to be convinced that he's a bona fide student. So yes, we would be happy to take consider a student who has worked somewhere for 5 years due to family pressures and circumstances. We would be willing to give him a chance.
Okay. The third question is basically, a student is going for a postgraduate diploma. So he's around 42, 43. So you think this student is eligible for a postgraduate diploma?
Again, depend on his background, on whether he's worked in hospitality all this time, what kind of work experience he has. It's not a problem for a student, to go for postgraduate study. A slightly mature student to go for postgraduate study is fine. Okay, so yeah, only thing he would probably have to look at starting overall over again, and that 1 year post-study work visa should be worth his while.
Okay. So
yes,
you think basically for the visa purpose also, this profile will be able to get his visa if he's able to explain his case, in the telephonic interview and to documents?
Yeah, so it all depends on the entire case. Now, suppose if at the age of 42, 43, if he's going in for hospitality training, is that what his background was in? Has he done a bachelor's in hospitality? Has he worked in a hotel all this time? And now he wants to further his career or rise to higher levels thanks to a better qualification. That's perfectly plausible. So it's all how we put together the case and how how we put it forth to New Zealand immigration so that he gets his visa.
So is there a maximum age limit for a student to apply for New Zealand?
Not really. I did see a case recently of a 49-year-old gentleman who applied for a master's degree, and he got his visa and he went there and studied. So for postgraduate study, they usually are a little more considerate.
Okay. Thank you. One last question. So, we know that in the COVID period, hospitality was one of the, biggest hit. People were not able to find jobs, the hotels were closed, there were no customers, and everything had to basically, now that it has started, so how great is the opportunity, and is it worth to take a risk to pursue a hospitality course?
So hospitality definitely was badly hit. But as you can see, Richard, now flights are going chock-a-block. People are traveling like there's no tomorrow. So it's, how long can somebody stay cooped up in their home? We are all social beings and we all like to step out and explore and, see places. So hospitality always bounces back. And it is a profession that cannot be replaced by technology, because one doesn't want to go to a hotel and key in one's details in a computer. You want somebody there at the front desk to check you in. You want somebody to get your luggage to the room. You want you go down to the restaurant. You want some people around you while you're eating. So hospitality bounces back. It's already bounced back. Flights, as we can see, are really full, and within, I think, another 6 months, when visas and all are not so difficult, because right now there's so much of pressure that people are not traveling unless they really want to, unless they have to. So the visa offices are burdened, flights are full. People are traveling out of necessity right now, but give it another 3-4 months and everything will be back to normal. It'll just bounce back, and probably with a vengeance.
Perfect. I do believe the same, because what happened is this was because of external factor, pandemic, and because of this, what will happen is, after now everything will be going up, and there will be a huge growth opportunities in hospitality sector. So it would be a very good career to look for. I totally agree. So thank you, Vita, about safe place to stay.
Okay. So, firstly, New Plymouth is a small town. It's not very large. Secondly, everything's online, so it's not going to be difficult to find some place. We do not assist. We do give you the option of you come to New Zealand, stay on campus for a month. You'll make your friends, you'll find your feet, and then you can go out and look for accommodation. That option we give you. You don't have to take it for the whole year if you don't want to. So you have a place to go and anchor yourself, settle down, learn the ropes, figure things out, and then you can go out and find your accommodation. And safe place, all of New Zealand is safe. It's you won't have a problem safety wise, so you needn't worry about that.
Perfect.
Helps the student to qualify for more scholarship. Maybe it's the CSR or the cultural knowledge or something like that. So
Not really, because we're not giving scholarships as such. We are giving a form of return on investment through the internships.
Okay.
So that's fine. If there is CSR and all that, that's great for a student's CV, but it's not really a determining factor for admission.
Okay. Thank you for your answer.
Welcome. And Janet, you were asking about something?
Vidyadhar sir, please continue with your question. Sorry for interrupting.
Yes, it's fine. So, ma'am, what is the exact number we are talking for bachelors in hospitality management or hotel management?
So you're talking about the fees?
Yes.
All right. So for the first year, not inclusive of accommodation, it is around 23,000 New Zealand dollars, out of which you will earn back 21,000. For the second year, it's similar. And for the final year, it's 31,000 New Zealand dollars. New Zealand dollars around 50 rupees, 51, 52 rupees. So I would say 11 plus 11. We are looking at, say, 11 lakhs for the first year, 11 lakhs for the second year, and around 15 lakhs for the third year.
Okay, so we have to show this much money in bank statement for immigration purposes.
Yeah, bank statement, or you have to show fixed deposits, or you have to show some kind of investment, or even salary slips in which their parents earn a certain salary, and they know that they will have that much money to pay for the second and third year also.
Okay. That's the only question I had.
All right.
Thank you, Vidyadhar. Your Feb intake open now?
Feb intake is open. We also have an October intake for postgraduate study. Yeah, and a Feb intake for all courses.
Perfect. And what is the average visa processing time?
That's a good question because the visa office hasn't opened yet. So we have students that went under cohort 4 under the nomination scheme in July. Our course has started on the 18th, and 3 of them still haven't got their visas. So it could be, one should allow at least 2 months for visa processing.
Okay, perfect. And all hospitality program. One, New Zealand is an hospitality destination. So a good destination to do a hospitality program. 3 pillars, in terms of academic, you understand the concepts, practical exposure. They have a property of hotel itself. So they give you that practical exposure. And then you have the actual training where you are going to get internship, where you are going to work in the industry, network with the industry, and basically build your career. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks, Rita, for everything. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity. And all the students out there, wish you the very best. All right. Reach for the stars and you'll get there. All right. Bye. Thank you.
Hi, Gita.
Yeah, bye.